Welcome to Latkes and Ketchup, the official podcast of Congregation Beth Israel in Charlottesville, Virginia. My name is Rabbi Ezra Leventhal, and joining me on the podcast today is Melissa Cohen. Welcome, Melissa.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. We're really happy to have you on the podcast today. Melissa is the current president of Congregation Beth Israel, very official,
Woo-hoo.
And the parent of a recent Forest School graduate. I can't believe he already graduated.
I know, it breaks my heart, but all good things now. But yes, all
good things.
Yes.
Moving on up in the world.
Yep.
So tell us, what else do you do out in the world other than presidenting and parenting?
Yes. Well, I do want to say I also have a 15-year-old daughter at Monticello High School who keeps me very busy. And then in my professional life, I am the deputy executive director at Ready Kids. We're a local nonprofit providing counseling, family support, and early learning opportunities to kids and families in our community.
That's amazing.
Yeah, been there for about 18 years. So,
wow.
Hi, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Lucky number in Judaism.
Yep.
Hi.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like really meaningful work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do love it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, Melissa is a person that has an extra special place in my heart and my journey here at CBI because she was the chair of the search committee when I was hired. So you were actually one of the first people I got to know here.
Sure did.
Yeah. No, my site visit weekend here was a whirlwind, I remember. But I really liked having you as my touchstone person because we got to connect over your Jersey roots.
Oh, yes. Go Jersey.
Go Jersey. I went to rabbinical school in New York, but I lived in New Jersey and worked in New Jersey the whole time. So I'm not originally from New Jersey, but I feel that New Jersey adopted me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
New Jersey welcomes all kinds.
Absolutely.
They will, make fun of you if you make mistakes, but
Right.
they welcome all kinds.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Special place.
Special
for sure.
place, New Jersey. Oh, and I remember during my site visit, there was this moment, we were at this dinner and I asked everybody, this was one of my standard questions during interviews, was what is one thing that you wish this town had that it does not? And I remember Melissa just looked off into the distance with this look in her eye and just went, a good mall. I was like, that I can see the Jersey girl spirit just eking out of you in that moment. It was, and
yes.
A good mall. You got to go out to Short Pump for it.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes you got to. I mean, I spent all of my teen years at the mall.
Absolutely.
That was,
Yeah.
Not everybody did, but
Really?
I know. I've been talking to some of
Yeah.
my friends recently about what did you do when you were teenagers? We were at the mall.
Eating Sbarro pizza.
Obviously. You didn't even have to buy anything. It was just somewhere to be, What do they
Walk
have
around.
there? Who's doing things there?
Yeah.
What's happening at the mall?
Absolutely.
It's where everything's happening.
Not here. We have Home Depot now. It's half of a Home Depot.
My gosh. I used to live right by where the Home Depot is.
Oh.
I moved right before it went up. But now I'm I almost want to creep on there and see
Yeah.
it feels weird. Feels weird.
It's different.
That
Different.
Home Depot parking lot where Fashion Square Mall used to be. Anyway, speaking of the mall, speaking of what happens at the mall, I heard a rumor that you're a big fan of celebrity gossip.
I sure am.
Oh my goodness. Tell me about that. What got you into celebrity gossip? What's the draw for you?
I think my love of celebrity gossip actually started in high school with Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, yeah.
That shows my age. But I felt truly connected to the actors and actresses on that show.
Yes.
I felt like they were my friends. I was living their life, and I got absorbed in their world. And since then, I just love everything celebrities.
Wow. Okay, so wait, which actors on the show were who was your number one? Was there anyone you hated? Did you love them all?
I love them all. I do want to say that the Brenda saga, Brenda and Dylan breaking up, and then Kelly joining, and then Luke Perry passed a couple of years ago. But that whole breakup was just heartbreaking for me and my friends. It was horrible. But
awful.
Love the show so much, and trying to get my daughter to rewatch it. Not happening yet. She's like, what are those outfits? What are they wearing?
Those outfits are great. Thank you very
Amazing.
much.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all about the vintage 90s, 80s fashion these days.
Love it.
What is she thinking?
I know, it's all back.
Yeah. So wait, what shows are you getting her into any of the gossipy shows or just trying with 90210?
So we just started the OC.
Oh yeah, the OC.
Which is great. We're about halfway done with that. We did New Girl, we did The Office, just kind of the classics.
Classics, yeah.
She's my TV movie celebrity buddy.
Oh, that's really sweet. Fun fact about the OC, they claim origination of the term Chrismica.
Yes,
yeah,
because of Adam Brody's character.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Now we all use it, but it goes back to the OC.
That's so fun. And now he was in the new show, Nobody Wants This, as the Jewish rabbi.
Oh my gosh, everybody talks to me about that show. Constantly. They're like, oh, have you seen that Netflix show? And I'm like, you mean Nobody Wants This? That's what you want to talk to me about. Yeah. I went to an event on UVA campus with some of the Jewish kids on grounds, and they were like, you remind us of that rabbi. And I was like, I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
I think it's the highest compliment.
I
really do.
I would like it to be.
Yes, that's a compliment.
I'm manifesting that it is. All right, so we've got a really interesting latke and ketchup pairing today that I am excited about. So, first of all, Melissa, did you bring the latke or the ketchup?
I bought the ketchup.
You brought the ketchup. All right. And can you just kind of give us the headline of what your ketchup is, and then I'll talk about what we're going to do today?
Okay. So my headline will be the importance of gossip, celebrity gossip, particularly Tom Cruise. I'll chat a little bit why I chose Tom Cruise. But I think everyone knows why, how amazing he is. But and talk about his sort of dating history and his celebrity life. And that's my ketchup. That
is some tasty ketchup. I was so excited when you brought this topic to me because I feel like everybody goes academic with me. And I'm like, I love a good academic conversation, but I love to do the highbrow, lowbrow. Yes. I love to talk about something that nobody takes seriously and really dig into it. So this is perfect. So what we're going to do for my latke is I am going to talk about the Jewish concept of lashon hara, which directly translates to the evil tongue, but it is about gossip and how we talk about other people. So I'm going to talk about how we understand gossip in Jewish culture, and I'm going to give my very hot take I actually don't think gossip is all bad. I think that a lot of gossip is defensible. So I'm going to give my Jewish defense of gossip. And then, Melissa, you and I are going to undertake the task of trying to analyze whether or not our conversation about Tom Cruise could be considered ethical. And worst case scenario, if we come to the conclusion that no, it's not, high holidays are right around the corner.
And we can repent.
We can repent. Yep. We can email Tom Cruise's publicist. We can see if he will accept our apology. We're good Jews and we know how to model teshuvah, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So let's get into it.
Okay.
Give us the ketchup.
Here's the ketchup. So for me, celebrity gossip just maintains our cultural connection. It's the social glue. It can be the start of any good conversation. You're at a dinner party. You get stuck on what to say. You bring up TV or movies or what's you've seen on, online. For me also as a therapist, it's just empathy. You have empathy for people. You see they're struggling. It's unfortunately very public now, which is sort of the bad press of it all. But and especially with kid stuff and divorces, that's really hard. Right. But there is empathy that you have and compassion for the people and what they're doing and how they make a living. I would say my number one love of celebrity gossip is pure distraction. Pure distraction. I get to be absorbed in someone else's world for a 60-minute, 30-minute, 2-hour movie, whatever it is, but you are completely absorbed in someone else's space. And, unfortunately, I see not so great things with the families and kids we work with, some trauma, and it's just take my mind off of that and really focus on something positive and fun. So it's a great distraction. And then lastly, it's just playful. Like we're having a great conversation just about it. Yeah. Everyone knows sort of what you're talking about. 90210, the OC, like these shows bring back core memories, which is also really nice.
Yeah.
So Tom Cruise.
Why in the big wide world of celebrity gossip did you choose Tom Cruise?
Great question. I think he popped in my head when we were chatting. And of course he would, because he is the ultimate powerhouse. He is one of the highest grossing actors of all time. And let me just say these 3 words. No, 2 words. I don't know why I said 3, but 2. Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Like,
Dun,
you can't get away from that.
Iconic.
Yeah, totally iconic. He has been in Hollywood for over 40 years. One of his first, most popular movies was Risky Business.
And also iconic. The sliding into the room wearing just the button-down shirt and no pants. Great scene.
Amazing.
What a look.
Yeah, it's a core memory.
Yeah.
All the way, obviously, to Top Gun, Days of Thunder. I mean, there's so many. I can go on and on. He's a cultural icon, we just talked about. He has amazing work ethics, and he does all his own stunts. Like, it's amazing. I don't know if you've seen the most recent Mission Impossible, but he did this crazy stunt on a plane.
Oh, my gosh.
And apparently they filmed it like a year before they even started actually filming for the actual movie. They just did it because he was practicing. He jumps off cliffs. He's just incredible. So his dedication, he like holds his breath for like 10 minutes, something insane. Yes.
That's wild.
Wild.
So growing up, did you have a celebrity crush on Tom Cruise?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. His hair, the way his hair flowed, the way he spoke, the way he danced, all of it. Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And then, of course, there is some controversy around him. With Scientology, his interview on Oprah, where he sort of jumped on the couch and sort of did some, said some things.
He's had some really weird moments in the public eye.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then he sort of went off the radar for a little bit. I think with Scientology and stuff, he went in the shadows and then he came back. But I think it was all about what brought him back was his dating life.
Oh.
Which is sort of what the theme of today is that his dating life is crazy. So I actually did ChatGPT to find out because I couldn't keep track of it all. But
you've had a good storied dating life when even the public eye can't keep track of you.
100%.
We need robots for that now.
And not only do they created a chart for me.
Oh my gosh.
Of all the years and things. And I'm not going to go into everyone, but I do want to say
Give us the broad scope.
Yeah. Like his first girlfriend that was public was Melissa Gilbert. And I think she was from
I have
House
no
on
idea
the Prairie.
who that is.
Right? Isn't that? I think that's it. I think. I don't
Little
know.
House on the Prairie?
That's when I was born, so I don't really know, but it was around that time.
Yeah.
In the early 80s. And then we're going to get to Nicole Kidman.
Also an icon, Nicole Kidman.
One of the most beautiful women.
I know that this is perhaps stupid and perhaps controversial, but I love her stupid AMC movie thing that she does.
Yes.
It's incredible. I love when she puts on that sparkly pinstripe suit and tells me that we go to the movies to feel things.
Absolutely.
I'm like, yes, we do, Nicole Kidman.
Yes. See, this is why celebrity life is so amazing. Because you feel connected to her, even though we've never met her. Anyway. So they dated, they were married for, it says 11 years. They adopted children together.
Wait, how did they meet? Do we know how they met?
Eyes Wide Shut.
No, I think Days of Thunder. Days of Thunder.
Okay, so our podcast producer Lucas said Eyes Wide Shut. I don't know if the mics would have picked that up. No. So Eyes Wide Shut, Days of Thunder.
Those were the 2 big movies that had. Then they had some other smaller films.
I think they were already together on Eyes Wide Shut.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's why they made it. Yes, it was obviously rated.
Yes, it was an intimate film.
Yes,
it was an explicit film.
Yes. And then shortly after they divorced. So who knows? But
So they meet on Days of Thunder. They make Eyes Wide Shut together. They've got children. They're married. And they get a divorce. Do we know why?
And that was heartbreaking. Well, we don't know that. I mean, that's the beauty and the heart, right? The difficulty of celebrity gossip is what is the truth?
What is the truth?
We don't know. Because we only see it what we have on social media, TMZ, all these new, like back then it was magazines. I used to read magazines, but no one really does that anymore. But
I miss more magazines.
Oh my gosh.
This is what I'm always saying.
Like holding a magazine, even like on an airplane,
texture,
there's something very special.
The smell. I'm also a collage artist in my spare time. So I'm always looking for magazines to cut up. And there's never enough of them. There's never enough of them. I want people to get rid of their old magazines and give them to me.
Yes.
I want to cut up celebrity gossip sections.
Yes. Well, funny story is that we used to cut out celebrity pictures, and my friends and I used to take magazines of all the celebrities, and my door in my room was covered from literally top to bottom in celebrities.
Oh,
that's very
my
funny.
God,
From magazines.
that's amazing.
It's
love that
memory. Okay, so that heartbreak went viral. I mean, it went viral. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was heartbreaking. And I think my mom and my dad were upset about it. Like, it was felt like someone you loved and invested all this time and energy, this like famous couple divorced. And I think that was the first time I realized, like, wow, I'm fascinated, but like really intrigued and enthralled by other people's lives, which is interesting.
And like, whose side were you on?
Well, I think as a woman, I always go to the woman's side.
Yeah.
I do.
You were I think Nicole Kidman was wronged.
Yeah, I did. He must have done something.
He must have done something.
Yeah. That's what I go to. I don't know if that's probably not fair, but that's what I go to.
Look, this doesn't impact your opinion on this situation doesn't impact their lives.
Thank you.
That's my defense of you here.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Mm-hmm. So then after that, some on and off with Penelope Cruz, but then the next biggest one was Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes. I remember this happening.
This was 2005. They started dating, and they dated through 2012.
That's a long time. They were together for a long time.
Long time. They have a daughter together named Suri, who just went off to college. So
Suri Cruz is in college.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
I remember when they got together, I remember I read one of the magazines at the time that said that when she was a teenager, she had a like Top Gun poster in her room and had a celebrity crush on Tom Cruise and then grew up and married him. Married him. That story stuck in my head forever. And
then she was from Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
Which was like the best show.
Oh, so good.
Such a, like, another iconic show, just like 90210. And that was another, and he was much older. So it was like a lot going on there. And it was like, again, enthralled in that world. And then they broke up.
And that one seemed really,
that was
really
heartbreaking.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah. That was really hard. And she ended up dating Jamie Foxx for a while.
Really? I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, another movie star. But that was hard. Again, these lives that we have no idea who these people are in real life, but you felt connected to them. Right. Anyway, fast forward. Now he's with Ana de Armas, who they're in a movie together.
Wait. When did he get with Ana de Armas?
2025. They just started dating this year. But it's confirmed.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
There were just pictures of them holding hands on his private jet.
What has she been in? I know her from things.
She's been in a bunch of things. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank now because I'm put on the spot. Producer Lucas. Ana de Armas is from, she's beautiful.
She's so beautiful.
Bond girl. She was in a movie with, was it Glass Onion or Knives Out? One of those.
Was she in? She was in Knives Out. She was in Knives Out. That's where I know her from.
Yes.
Knives Out was incredible.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
John Wick, Blade Runner. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm outing myself with another controversial opinion here. I don't really like action movies.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Rabbi Ezra.
I know. I am just not that compelled by people fighting. Oh. I think that when I watch a movie, I need to like understand people's motives, and I personally would just never get into a physical fight. Okay. So when I see people fighting, I'm like, I don't get it. I remember I went to see Inception the night it premiered, like at the midnight show with a bunch of my friends, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep, and I was only woken up by the explosion sounds, and I would just be like, what's happening? Oh, something else is exploding, and then fall back asleep. Oh, and that is when I discovered that I don't like action movies.
Yeah, if you fell asleep during Inception, then action movies are not your
thing. I know, it's not my thing.
And it's an incredible quality to fall asleep during some of those scenes. That is a gift that you have for sure.
I can get into it if there's something kind of dynamic going on. Like, that series Umbrella Academy, they paired their fight scenes with really interesting musical choices. I thought that was really cool. That was a hook for me. But if it's just like two people fighting for their honor or like for some sort of larger scheme that I don't find, I'm like,
no.
I don't care about this. What happened in your childhood? What's your trauma? Tell me that. Like that's where
That's where you are.
Yeah.
What about, have you seen Sinners?
Yes, Sinners was incredible.
Sinners was incredible.
Famously, I'm a big horror fan.
Okay.
What I like to say is if I'm going to watch something violent, I would like to be violent in a creative way. So like if somebody's just getting punched in the face, I know what that looks like. I can imagine what getting punched in the face looks like. Right. But if there's like a monster with 8 arms running after you, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to see
that. Okay. You're sharing a lot about yourself on this podcast.
You're bringing it out of me. What can I say? It's the therapist in you.
It's the therapist back. Just bring it all out.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So Ana de Armas.
Who I guess you also might know her, is that she used to date Ben Affleck for many years. They were together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wait, is she much younger than Tom Cruise also?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
how old is she?
Yeah. She must be in her 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably around the same age as Katie Holmes?
Katie Holmes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his type, I guess.
37.
37. Wow.
Producer Lucas is really coming in clutch for
Lucas.
us today. He's
Thank
not
you.
mic'd, so you can't hear him, but we got to give props to producer
Yes.
Lucas.
Thank you, Lucas.
Yes, thank you, Lucas.
So, needless to say, I want to wrap it up and pass back to you for the Laka, but Tom Cruise is definitely one of my favorite celebrities, and I know he's controversial in many ways, but I'm committed to him, and I will see all his movies, and I heard he's a really nice guy, even though he's gotten some really bad press, and the Scientology stuff, we're going to put that aside, but he's just seems like a great guy, and I really hope this goes viral so that you and I can meet him one day. That's going to end
So that
there.
we can publicly apologize to Tom
Yep,
Cruise
Yep, exactly.
for gossiping about him.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Are you ready to face the music and talk about Jewish ethics of gossip?
Of course.
Let's do it. Okay, so the common term for gossip when we're talking Jewish ethics is lashon hara, which literally translates to the evil tongue. And this is actually never mentioned in the Torah. That phrase, lashon hara, never comes up in the Torah. But frequently people attribute it to Psalm 34, where we are advised to guard our tongues from evil. So they take that to mean you should not gossip. And gossip in Jewish ethics takes on this really interesting character because there's this phrase when we're talking about Jewish law called to build a fence around the Torah. So like if you think about kosher laws, in the Bible it says that we're not supposed to boil a calf in its mother's milk. There's no reason based on that why you couldn't eat a sandwich with chicken and cheese on it. But that's still considered not kosher. And that is because they really, really want to go to extreme efforts to make sure that they're avoiding the sin. So they're like, well, what if at the farm things got confused and they mixed up the chicken meat with the beef, which that's not going to happen. Those two things look completely different. They don't taste anything alike. That's not going to make any sense.
No.
But they're like, but what if? Or like, what if the chicken meat and the beef meat touch each other and then there's particles of beef and the cheese? So it's overly cautious, but that is a really common theme when people are trying to figure out how to keep themselves in relation to kashrut. So frequently, people who are really observant around this principle of lashon hara don't talk about other people's actions at all. Yeah. Like, gosh, this was a really funny case of this. But this one time I was in a group of studying something Jewish with Jews. I know, something very descriptive of something that I would do. And we were all sharing our pronouns like you do at such a gathering. And one of the more Orthodox guys in the group said, I don't believe in pronouns. And I was like, oh gosh, this energy. But then he followed it up with, because it encourages lashon hara.
Fascinating.
Basically, he was saying that he didn't want to encourage anyone to talk about him in the third person because that would be like talking about his behavior behind his back.
Oh.
So he's like, we don't need to use pronouns because we're good Jews who aren't doing lashon hara. If you're ever talking about me, you would just need to talk about me in the second person, like you.
Fascinating. That's really incredible.
Yeah, and that's an extreme case,
That's
of course.
extreme, yes.
But that's kind of, I think, a way of illustrating like just how much of a fence sometimes people build around lashon hara. Obviously, as I teased at the top, I am not of this camp. But I am going to break down the kind of three degradations. Maimonides has a little bit more of a breakdown between different types of speech about other people. And then I'm going to tell you my hot take on it.
Okay.
So Maimonides separates three different kinds of like problematic speech. They're not all strictly forbidden, but they all get us into this territory of talking about others, which is supposed to be negative because it is like to defame someone's image. And they compare it a lot to doing physical harm to somebody. Say like to embarrass somebody is as though you're physically harming them or as though you are like killing their image. So there are these parallels drawn between the physical and the metaphorical, the social persona,
okay.
I guess. Yeah. So The first kind of problematic speech that Maimonides defines is rechilut, which he thinks of as just kind of like regular gossip. So rechilut is talking about things that other people factually did.
Okay.
They could be negative things. They could be positive things. They could be saying like, oh, I heard that so-and-so was speeding the other day. Or they could be saying, I heard that so-and-so is the world's best parallel parker. But they are factual information. This Maimonides is a little bit gray on. He doesn't love it. He's not like, yay, rechilut, but he's like, it's not always bad.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you do need to tell somebody about what happened, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We're stating the story.
Sometimes you're just stating the story. Mm-hmm. Second type of problematic speech, this is Lashon Hara. And Lashon Hara is also supposed to be factual, but whereas rechilut is just like kind of reporting the facts as they happened, Lashon Hara is done so with an intention to not quite defame someone, but to make them look bad. So like you're saying, like for example, if there's someone you just really don't like and you want somebody else to not like them also, and you have a collection of reasons why you don't like this person, and you're like, let me tell you why. Right. And you've got all your receipts. Mm-hmm. Even if they're true, that's Lashon Hara.
Okay.
So that's kind of the spirit. It kind of matters the intent of what you're saying it. At least that's my read on it. I think other people would disagree with me. Other people might have a more expansive categorization of Lashon Hara. But based on what I've read in the text, that's how I would describe it. Okay. And then the last category, which is the worst category, is Motzi Shem Ra. And Motzi Shem Ra means like to put a bad name out there. And Motzi Shem Ra is like Lashon Hara, but you also lie.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
Up
So
a level. Okay.
Motzi Shem Ra is like, I don't like this person. I think they're bad. And you are willing to make up stories about why they're bad to get people on your side.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I think that it is more effective to kind of delineate these things. Because I think that we lump a lot of things into Lashon Hara that are so different from each other.
Right.
Like, you know, so-and-so is great at parallel parking is deeply different than like, here are some horrible lies.
Absolutely. So different. Yes. Yes.
So I like to kind of delineate here. Motzi Shem Ra, I'm not defending today.
No.
I don't think it's good to make up lies about people.
Nope.
I think that that's a separate offense than just gossip, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's lying.
It takes it to another level.
It's a different level.
Yes.
So it's not that you're talking about someone, it's that you're lying about someone. So I think of that as kind of separate from gossip. That's lying.
Totally agree.
Another thing that I'm not going to defend, I like to be very clear about the kind of gossip that I am not speaking in support of before I speak in support of it, because it's already deeply troubling to many people that I defend gossip. So I'm also not going to defend if somebody tells you something and says, don't tell other people, that's not cool. But also, I do think that's a different thing than gossip, because I think that is breaking a promise. And breaking a promise is bad.
Yeah.
If somebody says that they don't want something spread around,
don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I think, however, that I am generally pro-rechilut, and I am, in certain cases, in favor of Lashon Hara.
Let's hear it. Why?
And this is why. So, I think, first of all, okay, I'm going to put it out to you. Why do you think people don't want others to gossip? What do you think the purpose of not gossiping is?
What is the purpose of not gossiping?
Yeah, why would it be forbidden?
Because it's telling people what they're doing or how they're behaving, or it might be private or things like that.
So I think that the reason why people don't want others to gossip is because they want to control how other people talk and think about them.
Ooh.
Which is a really natural impulse. I get why people would want that.
Sure.
It is hard to imagine people that you know, maybe love, maybe like, maybe don't like, having their own opinions about you that you can't control. It's hard to think about your narrative and your image being something that you don't completely have control over. But here's the thing. You don't have control over that.
Right.
And I think that trying to put in this farce of like trying to control something that you inherently can't control, I think it's a little bit pointless. People are going to have their own opinions about you, and keeping them from speaking about them doesn't stop that.
Right.
So I think that the social good of trying to control your image is really, really outweighed by many of the social goods that gossip does do. And you kind of hit on a lot of these points earlier, but for one, I think that gossip is a bonding tool.
Yeah.
It helps people become closer with each other.
Definitely.
Gossip is a way that we understand our own ethical and social boundaries. So instead of just talking about things that we've done, when we talk about things that other people do, it gives us a lens of like, okay, what behavior would I tolerate from another person? What behavior would I tolerate in myself? Right. And I think these are important questions for us to be asking and thinking about. And finally, it's just fun.
It is fun.
It's so fun. And I think that it is fair for people to want to have a good time. And so when I think about it in myself, I'm like, okay, yeah, I imagine people gossiping about me. Ooh, it doesn't always feel very good.
Right.
But when I think about the good that I've experienced from talking about other people's behavior and participating in gossip, I'm like, I want other people to have that.
Yeah.
I don't want to take that from other people. And if that is at the expense of me confronting the fact that I'm not completely in control of how people see me, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And finally, and this is my defense of Lashon Hara in some cases, because that was more rechilut, right? Lashon Hara, I think that sometimes Lashon Hara is the only tool that people who are not in power have against people who are in power.
Ooh.
Classic example of positive Lashon Hara is the Me Too movement.
Right.
If you think about everything that was said about Harvey Weinberg and all of these other abusive men, that is quite literally Lashon Hara. That is people gathering receipts to be like, look at this negative behavior. They were absolutely taking factual information to ruin somebody's name. But it wasn't, it was for the protection of people. Yeah. It was to make sure that people understood what was happening.
Right.
So I think that Lashon Hara can sometimes be used as kind of a democratizing tool, as a way of giving power to people through their voices and by communicating to each other when we might not always have other tools of power against people that might have a lot of money or a lot of influence.
Yeah.
So I think that that is an underrated facet of Lashon Hara. So that is, in short, my great defense of gossip from a Jewish ethical perspective.
Love it.
So let's put the mirror back on ourselves, as uncomfortable as that might be. What good do you think came from our discussion of Tom Cruise's dating life?
You can't see my face, but I'm grimacing. Let's see. I had really a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
Fun?
It's fun talking.
Absolutely.
I think it brings up a lot of great memories.
Yeah.
Like television shows or connections to celebrities. It's
Nostalgia.
Just fun. It's nostalgia. It's core memories. Makes me think of, high school days, things like that. So I think that was good.
Yeah. I think that also, when you talk about anybody's romantic life, it is really hard to be objective about your own romantic choices.
Right.
That is not something, if we are not good judges of our own character.
Right.
But we can talk about other people's other things that other people have done, and that can help us to understand how we want to behave in our romantic lives. So we talk about Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, and clearly there is a little bit of a question around the power dynamic there. He was a figure to her when she was really young in a formative place. There was a really big power differential between the two of them. And I don't think he always used that power responsibly based on what I saw of what happened between the two of them. It really seemed like he kind of wielded his social force to keep her from leaving for a while. That doesn't seem great.
Yeah. In their church,
Yeah.
That didn't feel good,
No. So I do think that there is some amount of like understanding our own social boundaries and ethical boundaries that we can articulate through discussions of Tom Cruise.
Absolutely. I think it's also easier that we don't know these people. Like we don't know them.
Yeah.
So it's this almost like a fantasy world, although I want to recognize they are real people and
they
have
are
real lives.
Yeah.
And I know that their job comes with this, being famous and all that and being all over the public eye. But it is,
Yeah, and like,
that.
you know, it's important to recognize that sometimes the celebrity gossip industry can be really disruptive.
Oh, yeah.
Like if we look at what happened to Britney Spears, that was awful. That was awful.
Oh my gosh.
That was an icon of my childhood. So like she deeply important to me, Britney Spears. That was the first, and this will show my age. That was the first cassette tape I ever bought.
Wow.
Was the Britney Spears "Hit Me Baby One More Time" album. It was so good.
So good.
I listened to it over and over again. It was amazing.
Funny story about Britney Spears.
Yeah?
She shaved. Remember when she shaved her head?
Of course.
She did that down the street from where I lived in LA.
That's so
right down the street.
That's
Like she
crazy.
did it in this tattoo. It was like she was getting a tattoo, all this stuff, and it was like right down the street from me.
Oh my
gosh,
gosh.
it was crazy time.
That's nuts.
Anyway.
So that was like literally gossip happening in your backyard.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. So, but yes, this is all to say that sometimes it can be really destructive. I do think that people should be allowed to have their own private lives.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, I'm not saying that every behavior that everybody does should be out for the public to consume, but I think especially what you do to people in a social context, we're operating in the same social world as each other. That has impact on other people.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, if it's stuff that you've done in public, if it's factual, if you haven't told people not to tell other people, I think it's kind of fair game for people to talk about, you know?
Yeah.
As uncomfortable as that might be at times.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that celebrity gossip can occupy both of those territories.
Absolutely.
It can be in the public sphere and it can tread too far into somebody's private life. But yeah, okay. What negative do you think we've done by our discussion of Tom Cruise?
I mean, I think, look, we're making judgments and
We are.
making things about him that we don't know who he is and
We
who
don't
his
know.
true character is. So I think that's, you know, that could be very harmful.
Anything could have happened behind closed doors. We don't know.
100%.
We don't know.
The truth is somewhere, but we just don't know. And it's what we perceive on, you know, what we read about and look at and see.
Yeah.
So I think that could be harmful.
Yeah, we could be unknowingly spreading misinformation.
Yeah.
If Tom Cruise listens to this, which if you are listening to Tom Cruise, hi.
Hi.
Thanks,
we love you.
thanks for listening to the podcast. We really appreciate it. You know, maybe post us on X. I don't know what platforms you use now. Get our name out there, Tom Cruise.
Yes.
But yeah, we might have said some things that hurt Tom Cruise's feelings.
I know.
And that I do sincerely apologize if we hurt your
too.
feelings, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I do generally think of you as a person that has like a really thick skin, and maybe you don't.
Yeah.
Maybe you
he
don't.
could be really sensitive.
You could be
in this-
really
yeah,
sensitive.
we just don't know.
We don't know. There's so much we don't know. For all that we do know about Tom Cruise, there's so much that we don't know about Tom Cruise. Okay, so given the potential good and the potential bad, where do you think we fall here? Do you think that we have had an ethical discussion of Tom Cruise or an unethical discussion of Tom Cruise?
I'm going to vote ethical. I think it's harmless. Like, this is fun. And yes, we laughed a little bit. We smiled. I think it's all in good.
I think that we have not said anything of Tom Cruise that other people have not said before. We're not venturing into new territory. Right. We didn't get in too deep on anything. I don't think we even gave like super harsh judgments of Tom Cruise. You repeatedly discussed how handsome, talented, and beloved he is.
Yes.
Yeah. So honestly, I think that if someone had literally never heard of Tom Cruise and listened to our podcast, which you know, if this is your first exposure to celebrity gossip, listener, welcome. Welcome. We're happy to have you here. We're glad that this was your first exposure. I think that they would leave this podcast having like a somewhat positive impression of Tom Cruise. So yeah. And I think that we gained social benefits that we discussed. So yeah, I'm going to go with I have no intention of repenting for this over the high holidays.
That's great.
I think that we're in the clear.
Yeah, I do too.
Good for us. I had no idea where we were going to land on that. I was
Me
really,
neither.
I was ready.
I didn't know where it was going.
I was ready to do teshuva on it if we needed to.
Goodness.
But you know, I'm glad that we don't. We're going to stand proud together.
Me too.
In our love of celebrity gossip.
Celebrity gossip. I'll be texting you some really fun news coming up. Yeah.
Well, all right. I'm going to put you on the spot now for one last important thing. Okay. This will put something out into the world that maybe people will gossip about you.
Oh, goodness. Yes. Let's see.
I know. So, Melissa, what is your favorite latke topping?
Oh, you know, I've been thinking about this because I knew you were going to ask me this.
I prepare people.
I'm going to say, I think a lot of people have said this, but applesauce.
It's applesauce for you.
It's applesauce. It's not the sour cream. Mm-hmm. It's not plain. It's just, the applesauce. There's something about the sweetness.
Yeah. And are you a homemade applesauce kind of person, or are you like Mott's from the store?
Melissa, am not a homemade anything. I do not enjoy cooking, but my mom is an amazing cook, and my grandmother was an amazing cook, and they have and my aunt makes delicious applesauce.
So somebody else's homemade.
Someone else's homemade applesauce on a latke.
Yeah.
But I have to say, the Trader Joe's latkes are pretty good.
Yeah, the Trader Joe's latkes are great. I tell people this all the time.
They're really good.
Yeah. If you don't want to go to the work of making latkes, it's so much work.
I have memories of making latkes with my mom, grinding the potato, and getting all the water out, and the onions in our house,
the
splattering.
Cloth.
All of it.
Oh my gosh, the Hanukkah tradition at my household, because I am easily the most Jewish person in my family.
Yes.
Like nobody else is observant at all, and I'm a rabbi, so they're like, Ezra, you do the stuff, and I'm like, okay. Is me making latkes by myself and everybody critiquing my latke technique. So I'm just like in the kitchen, and everybody else is drinking beer and being like, you should be doing this, and I'm like,
my goodness,
fine, you're gonna eat these in a second anyway. So
oh my gosh,
yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast, Melissa. This has been so fun.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been
great.
So fun.
And do text me about celebrity gossip.
I will.
This has been Latkes Ketchup. I'm Rabbi Ezra Leventhal, and I'm going to dip.